The Pokémon Trading Card Game, TCG, is a collectible card game based on the Pokémon video game series, which was created by Satoshi Tajiri and Ken Sujimori, and is managed by the Pokémon Company. The TCG was first published by Wizards of the Coast in 1996, and has since become a significant aspect of the Pokémon franchise, with numerous expansions, tournaments, and a dedicated fanbase. In the Pokémon TCG, players take on the role of Pokémon trainers, using their decks of cards to battle against each other. The objective is to knock out their opponent's Pokémon by attacking with their own Pokémon cards. Each player starts with a deck of 60 cards, which typically includes Pokémon cards, trainer cards, and energy cards. Here's a brief overview of how a typical game might play out. 1. Setup: players shuffle their decks and draw 7 cards. They then decide who goes first, usually by flipping a coin. 2. Basic Pokémon: players can put basic Pokémon cards from their hand onto their bench, which can hold up to 5 Pokémon. They can also put 1 basic Pokémon face down as their active Pokémon. 3. Energy cards: players attach energy cards from their hand to their active Pokémon. Energy cards are necessary to perform attacks. 4. Trainer cards: players can play trainer cards from their hand to perform various actions, such as drawing more cards, healing Pokémon, or playing item cards that have special effects. 5. Attacks: on their turn, players can choose to attack their opponent's Pokémon using the attacks listed on their active Pokémon card. Each attack requires a specific combination of energy cards. 6. Damage and knockouts: when a Pokémon is attacked, damage counters are placed on it based on the attack's damage. If the damage exceeds the Pokémon's remaining HP, it is knocked out, and the opponent takes a prize card. 7. Win condition: the game typically ends when one player has taken all of their prize cards, by knocking out their opponent's Pokémon. Alternatively, if a player cannot draw a card at the beginning of their turn, or if they have no Pokémon on the field, their opponent wins. 8. Special conditions: some attacks and trainer cards can inflict special conditions on Pokémon, such as poisoned, paralyzed, or confused, which can affect their ability to battle. The Pokémon TCG is constantly evolving, with new card sets, mechanics, and rules introduced through expansions and updates. Additionally, competitive play is a significant aspect of the game, with tournaments held at local, national, and international levels. In summary, the Pokémon trading card game offers strategic gameplay, collecting elements, and a thriving community for players of all ages to enjoy. In the Pokémon trading card game, TCG, there are several types of cards, each serving a different purpose in gameplay. Additionally, cards are categorized based on their rarity, which indicates how commonly they appear in booster packs, and how sought after they are by collectors. Here's an overview of the types of cards and their rarities. 1. Pokémon cards. Basic Pokémon: these are the foundation of a player's deck. They represent the Pokémon that players use to battle against their opponents. Evolution Pokémon: these cards depict Pokémon that have evolved from their basic forms. They're played on top of corresponding basic Pokémon. Pokémon GX and Pokémon V: these are powerful Pokémon with stronger attacks and higher HP. They often have unique abilities or mechanics. Pokémon GX were introduced in the Sun and Moon expansion, while Pokémon V were introduced in the Sword and Shield expansion. Pokémon X introduced in the Black and White expansion. These Pokémon have higher HP and more powerful attacks. However, when they are knocked out, the opponent takes 2 prize cards instead of 1. 2. Trainer cards. Item cards: these cards represent items that players can use to aid their Pokémon in battle, or manipulate the game state in various ways. Supporter cards: these cards depict characters from the Pokémon games, and provide powerful effects when played, such as drawing cards or searching for specific cards. Stadium cards: stadium cards represent locations from the Pokémon world and provide ongoing effects while they're in play. Tool cards: these cards are attached to Pokémon and provide them with additional abilities or effects. 3. Energy cards. Basic energy cards: these cards provide the energy necessary for Pokémon to use their attacks. There are 9 types of basic energy cards, corresponding to the various Pokémon types, e.g., grass, fire, water. As for rarity, Pokémon TCG cards are typically categorized into several levels of rarity. Common: these cards are the most abundant in booster packs, and are usually easier to obtain. Uncommon: these cards are a bit less common than common cards, and often have slightly stronger effects or abilities. Rare: these cards are less common than uncommon cards, and usually feature stronger Pokémon. Trainer cards with more powerful effects, or unique artwork variants. Rare Holo: these cards have a holographic foil pattern, making them visually distinctive. They often feature stronger Pokémon or trainer cards, and are sought after by collectors. Ultra rare: these cards are even rarer than rare Holo cards, and typically feature powerful Pokémon GX, Pokémon V, Pokémon X, or special full art variants with unique artwork. Secret Rare. These cards are the rarest of the rare, and are often numbered beyond the set's standard card numbering. They feature unique artwork and are highly sought after by collectors. Overall, the rarity of a card can affect its value and desirability among collectors and players alike. In the Pokémon world, there are a vast array of unique creatures known as Pokémon, each with its own distinct appearance, characteristics, and abilities. Here are some examples of Pokémon with unique traits and abilities. 1. Ditto. Ditto is known for its ability to transform into any other Pokémon it encounters. This unique ability, called Imposter, allows Ditto to mimic the appearance, stats, and moves of its opponent. 2. Eevee and its evolutions. Eevee is a special Pokémon known for its ability to evolve into 8 different forms, each with its own unique type and abilities. These evolutions include Flareon, Fire, Jolteon, Electric, Vaporeon, Water, Espeon, Psychic, Umbreon, Dark, Leafeon, Grass, Glaceon, Ice, and Sylveon, Fairy. 3. Mimikyu is a ghost/fairy type Pokémon that disguises itself as Pikachu to avoid being noticed. Its unique ability, Disguise, allows it to take a hit without receiving any damage the first time it's attacked. 4. Shedinja is a bug/ghost type Pokémon that has the ability Wonder Guard, which makes it immune to all direct attacks, except for those that are super effective against it. However, it has very low HP, and can be easily knocked out by indirect damage, such as weather effects or status conditions. 5. Ditto is known for its ability to transform into any other Pokémon it encounters. This unique ability, called Imposter, allows Ditto to mimic the appearance, stats, and moves of its opponent. 6. Arceus is a legendary Pokémon known as the original one in the Pokémon lore. It is said to have created the Pokémon universe. Arceus has the ability Multitype, which allows it to change its type depending on the plate or Z crystal it holds. 7. Mew is a mythical Pokémon believed to contain the genetic composition of all Pokémon. It is known for its ability to learn any move in the game, making it incredibly versatile in battle. 8. Zygarde is a legendary Pokémon with the ability Power Construct, which allows it to transform into its complete form when its HP drops below half. In its complete form, Zygarde gains higher stats and access to more powerful moves. 9. Rotom is an electric/ghost type Pokémon that can possess various household appliances, giving it different forms and abilities. For example, Rotom can possess a washing machine, Wash Rotom, a lawnmower, Mow Rotom, or even a smartphone, Phone Rotom, each with its own unique typing and moveset. These are just a few examples of the many unique Pokémon species and abilities found in the Pokémon world. Each Pokémon brings its own charm and strategic value to battles, making the Pokémon franchise rich with diversity and creativity. Certainly, let's delve deeper into the different types of cards found in the Pokémon trading card game, TCG, discussing their roles, characteristics, and mechanics in detail. 1. Pokémon cards. Basic Pokémon. These cards represent the foundation of a player's deck. Basic Pokémon are the creatures that players deploy onto the battlefield to battle against their opponents. Each basic Pokémon card typically depicts one specific Pokémon species, along with its name, HP, hit points, type, weaknesses, resistances, retreat cost, and one or more attacks. Basic Pokémon can be played directly onto the player's bench during their turn, and can subsequently evolve into more powerful forms. Evolution Pokémon. These cards depict Pokémon that have evolved from their basic forms. Evolution Pokémon are played on top of corresponding basic Pokémon, and represent the growth and progression of a Pokémon throughout a battle. Evolution Pokémon cards retain their HP, type, and attacks of their pre-evolved forms, but often have higher HP and more potent attacks. To play an evolution Pokémon from their hand, players must meet the necessary evolutionary requirements, such as having the appropriate basic Pokémon already in play. Pokémon GX and Pokémon V. These are special types of Pokémon cards introduced in recent expansions of the Pokémon TCG. Pokémon GX and Pokémon V are characterized by their enhanced stats, powerful attacks, and unique abilities. They typically have higher HP than regular Pokémon, and possess powerful attacks or abilities that can turn the tide of battle. However, when a Pokémon GX or Pokémon V is knocked out, the opponent must take 2 prize cards instead of 1, making them high risk, high reward options in a player's deck. 2. Trainer cards. Item cards. Item cards represent various items, tools, and equipment that Pokémon trainers can use to support their Pokémon in battle, or manipulate the game state. These cards often provide temporary boosts, allow players to draw additional cards, search for specific cards from their deck, or heal damage from their Pokémon. Item cards typically have immediate effects, and can be played at any time during a player's turn. Supporter cards. Supporter cards depict characters from the Pokémon video games and anime series, who offer their assistance to players during battles. These cards provide more potent effects compared to item cards, but can only be played once per turn, and only during a player's own turn. Supporter cards often allow players to draw additional cards, search their deck for specific Pokémon or trainer cards, or manipulate their opponent's hand or field in various ways. Stadium cards represent locations from the Pokémon world that affect the battlefield and alter the game's mechanics while they remain in play. Stadium cards often provide ongoing effects that benefit the player who played them or hinder their opponent. These effects can include altering the damage of certain types of Pokémon, changing the requirements for certain attacks, or providing additional bonuses to specific types of Pokémon. Tool cards are special trainer cards that can be attached to Pokémon to grant them additional abilities, effects, or enhancements. These cards typically provide passive benefits to the Pokémon they are attached to, such as boosting their attacks, providing protection from certain effects, or allowing them to evolve under special conditions. Tool cards remain attached to the Pokémon until they are replaced by another tool card or removed by a specific effect. 3. Energy cards. Basic energy cards. Energy cards are essential components of the Pokémon TCG, as they provide the energy necessary for Pokémon to perform their attacks. Basic energy cards represent the various types of energy found in the Pokémon world, including grass, fire, water, lightning, psychic, fighting, darkness, metal, and fairy. Players must attach energy cards to their Pokémon in order to power their attacks, with each attack typically requiring a specific combination of energy types. Basic energy cards are considered the foundation of a player's energy supply, and are included in every standard deck. They are typically color-coded to match the various Pokémon types, and have no additional effects beyond providing energy. These are the primary types of cards found in the Pokémon TCG, each serving a unique purpose, and contributing to the strategic depth and complexity of the game. By carefully constructing their decks and leveraging the strengths of each card type, players can develop powerful strategies, and compete effectively in battles against their opponents.